Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Wild Beyond the Lichlight, not Lichlight, Witchlight. Wild
You
Beyond.
just gave it away.
Oh no! Wild Beyond the Witchlight. I'm your whimsical DM Victoria. We're gonna play some D&D tonight, but first we're gonna do announcements, and then we're gonna do a recap. So, Kristy, if you could be so kind as to roll the clip.
Good evening, and welcome to the show. Now, here's a word from our sponsors. Little Dragon Core is a Canadian-based dice company that supplies all kinds of cool tabletop gear. I mean, look at all these pretty dicey boys. Head on over to littledragoncorp.com and enter the coupon code BONUS for 15% off your order. That's BONUS. Cardboard Castle Games is a brick-and-mortar game store local to Evans, Georgia. They have a wide selection of tabletop gaming and other cool games like Magic the Gathering, Pokemon cards, and even Yu-Gi-Oh! You can visit them in-store and let them know that we sent you, or you can go visit their website at cardboardcastlegames.com. Also, big thanks to Syrinscape for the amazing atmospheric sounds and music. You can add these sounds and more to your game when you download the Syrinscape desktop or mobile app. The app is free and comes with 20 sound sets that are included to get you started. You don't even need to register. Go to Syrinscape.com to find out more. Thanks as well to Adrian Von Ziegler for providing some additional music that we use here on Thursday nights. He's a talented composer with great content usage rights, so go check out his YouTube and Patreon and support him if you can. Please check out our other games. We stream almost every day here at Provo. We have games for several of the major published 5e modules, as well as homebrew games, and some of our games feature systems other than 5e, like Star Wars, Power Rangers, and Alien. Come watch all of our VODs over on our YouTube. You can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Don't forget, you can also support the channel by following, by subscribing, remembering to click the bell notification so you never miss another live stream, using channel emotes, and if you're an Amazon Prime user, you get a free subscription to Twitch every month. Thanks again to all of our sponsors for supporting Proficiency Bonus. And now, back to the show.
I have.
Yeah,
I
chew, girl. Yeah, chew it.
Thank you, Kristy, for doing that. We're gonna do a recap now, Ink. Go.
I'm Last time on Wild Beyond the Witchlight, it was combat as a group of, foes from all different kinds of walks and creepy crawlies and dark things came to attack the inn at the end of the road. Attacked Miss Sue, which is a big no. So, the party leapt into action, or rather, most of the party leapt into action. One did immediately fall unconscious, but that was not because of being attacked. That was because of doing some big magic. She had a little bit of a sleepy time. Lightning bolts were thrown out. Some smites were thrown out. Big spells all around. Some claws were scratching. We had a corpse flower. We had zombies. We had all sorts of nasty creatures. But at the end of the day, our heroes and our allies were all safe. Upon investigating the fallen foes, we were able to find stuck inside of some of them were some of those ill wishes from the Briganock mine. So, the party wants to investigate those as they believe this might be a retaliation sent against them by the Hourglass Coven. But we do not fully know yet, because we are going to be picking up right in the aftermath of that battle. Victoria, back to you.
Thank you so much for doing that. And for Kristy and for Ink, thank you for your contributions to the stream. You may have a D6 Bardic Inspiration to use whenever you would like. Yeah. So we will get right back into it. I do believe somebody has an order in with Moby Richard the albino pop-eyed goldfish for some magic beans.
Bro's
So-
gotta buy some beans.
So Aurum, after having your life on the line with this plant and its zombies, it's bean time. It's bean time, baby. Get totally beaned, bro. So you can go back to Richard, who is more than happy to make a sale for you. Let's see, the beans. Bag of beans.
Bro doesn't even ask if we're okay. He's just like, all right, give me.
He's like, I wasn't out. He's like, what just happened? Why are you bleeding?
Don't worry about it. I got trinkets.
Okay, good, because that's all I care about. Thank you. And as this is a, let's see, so common is 2, uncommon is 3. The bag of beans are rare, so that will be 4 trinkets for the bag of beans.
Well, if you remember, I did give you 1 extra last time, and you told me about it.
What? This is Victoria asking. What? Wait. What are you? What happened?
When I
What?
bought the belt, I gave 5 trinkets instead of 4. And he was like, oh, I was only going to ask you for 4.
Oh, he's doing some bartering.
I see what you're doing there. You didn't give that to me with the intention of it being a deposit or like a down payment for your beans.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's hard times out here. My whole customer base is just completely inaccessible, except for you lot, you are very good customers, don't get me wrong. And in this case, I will be kind, and I will be a magnanimous goldfish. And I will let that payment go towards this. But next time, if you're trying to make a deposit or pay more ahead of time to like bank up a credit, you gotta like tell me. That would be great, just so my business doesn't completely fall into shambles.
Don's not in the room, but like his ears are twitching.
I will still give you the 4th trinket if you answer a question for me.
Well, I guess it depends on what the question is, but alright, if I can answer it, I will certainly try to. What do you want?
I can't remember. I'm not from here. And this isn't in regards to you. What are the policies on stealing?
From me?
Not from you. Just in general.
In the Feywild, it really, really varies. So in Prismia, there's, do you know like the 3, like the laws? Like the rules?
Nope.
Okay. Alright. So, there's this little rhyme that you can use to remember them. What is it? Offer a stranger who enters your home a safe haven and a cheery hello. That one's hospitality, the rule of hospitality. Then there's the rule of ownership. This is where you gotta turn your thinking cap on, alright? To take something that doesn't belong is really and truly a grievous wrong. So you're not really supposed to steal. But like ownership is kinda right now, because of the hags, that rule that Zybilna put in place is a little bit wobbly. If you try to steal from the hags, then they're probably gonna try to, enforce that rule. But if they don't care about something, and you take it, and it's not yours, and whoever it does belong to isn't really there, or is otherwise indisposed, then right now you might be able to get away with it. But if Zybilna comes back, which everybody really wants, and it seems like you all have been making moves, I'm a very well-connected fish, keep that in mind. I do hear a lot of gossip. She wouldn't take too kindly to theft.
So as long as you don't steal something important or valuable, you're okay.
No! As long as you don't steal something without giving something of equal or greater value in return. That's the 3rd rule. The 3rd rule is reciprocity, which is a gift given is a gift earned. When one is offered, give one in return. So basically, if you really want something,
you gotta be able to leave something in its place that is of equal or greater value to whoever it belongs to. And value, I mean, I don't know about you, but if you've ever been on the material plane, it's real easy because it's just coin, and you just gotta convert between whatever city's coin you're dealing in. That's where it gets complicated, but coin is coin. Here, somebody could have like a grand, beautiful statue made of solid gold and giant diamonds that were shit out by a golden swan, and that could be meaningless compared to a little lock of hair tied with some yarn. So it kind of just depends. Thank you.
But if I took a salt shaker and I put a salt shaker down, that was a different salt shaker, would that be okay?
Depends on if that first salt shaker has sentimental value, you know? If it's important.
But if it's not important, then it's okay.
I wouldn't say that, but right now, you could get away with it.
All right, thanks. You know what? Here's 5 trinkets.
Is this a deposit or not?
No, this is for you, for answering my questions so nicely.
All right, I don't say no to a tip. Thank you.
People don't tend to talk to me nicely here, so it's kind of nice.
Well, I'm very sorry to hear that. You're a very generous customer. You keep giving me this many trinkets. I'll talk sweet to you as much as you want. You want me to call you honey, baby, darling, lovely, cutie pie, pookie? No. I will talk to you however you want if you keep giving me all these trinkets.
It's going a little bit too far.
All right. You don't gotta make it. It was only weird when you made it weird. It was fine.
I wasn't even making it weird. Now you're making it weird
now. You're making it weird now. And then,
Captain Baja forcefully closes his bill and is like, "I've heard enough, lad."
All right. Thanks, Captain.
Yeah, but you have a bag of beans. I think we do need to roll for something for this, though, as if I remember correctly, we need to roll for beans. Let me pull it up.
Numero of Beanzo.
Mm-hmm. Roll 3d4.
3, 1, 2, 3.
It was 3d4.
Oh, 3, 1, 2.
Okay, so 3, 4. You have 6. There's 6 beans in this bag.
Oh, what a good number of beans. But it doesn't split properly between my friends. Dang it.
Yep. So you now have a little pouch with dry beans.
Okay.
For the rest of you all, is there anything anyone would like to do or say?
Your mom.
Ritual cast on one of these ill wish stones. Ritual. I didn't say what spell.
Mm-hmm.
Ritual cast identify on one of these ill wish stones.
Okay. Yeah. So. Let me.
Levitating, speaking in tongues, inky black pouring out of my eyes, the whole shebang.
We love to see it.
This is this is a crystal. It'll give you Hulu Plus.
Oh my god.
It's an Amazon Fire Stick.
Okay, so when you cast Identify on the Ill Wish Stone, so wish stones don't necessarily have magical properties or there's not an item block that I'm gonna give you for that.
Yeah.
But you do confirm that this is in fact an Ill Wish Stone, and in so doing, you you are made aware of the wish that is associated with it. So this one, as you're finishing the identify, you kind of like hear this moment, this little vignette in your mind, of let's see, for this one, it's like the voice of a child, no more than like 3 or 4 years old. And they're like, I hate you, Mom! You won't let me have ice cream for dinner! And I wish that you would just go away! Would you like to identify another one? You have like probably 3 that you could gather from the corpses.
I will do that. Each ritual cast is 10 minutes, so that means there's 30 minutes for other people to do things.
Okay. So the second one, I'm gonna just give them all to you now.
Okay.
The second one, you hear the voice of like, sounds kind of like a middle-aged individual, probably like, you know, like obviously like a humanoid, but like maybe an older man who's like, oh my god, Dad has been holding on for so long and he's not even enjoying the quality of life. I wish that he could just go. And then I could finally get all of that inheritance money. He's not doing us any favors sticking around.
That's crazy.
And then the third one that you go to identify, you hear the voice of a woman who seems like she's maybe like on the younger side, like maybe like in her 30s. And she is saying, I can't believe that he cheated on me with her. I wish that he would just get his dick cut off. Like, I hate him. I'm gonna divorce him immediately. Like, how dare he cheat on me? Kind of a vibe.
Okay, Slay.
I think Ego would be smart enough to realize that these are all ill wishes. They're definitely like, you know, this isn't like the wish of like a mass murderer like wanting to bring like gore and death upon the world. Like this is like
petty.
Yeah, these are like petty ill wishes. So I don't think it would even require a check for Ego after the identifies to realize like these are probably, because you saw that they were small. You guys had already noticed that last session. You would realize like these are not very powerful malignant wishes.
Interesting. I was wondering if this was going to be wishes, wishing harm on us. That at least would have made things a little bit more clear. But I guess the just little bit of negative energy in them could be enough to stir some things.
Yeah.
The vibes are bad.
Yeah, the vibes are icky.
Well, yeah, and Ego holding, because I also have the one in my pocket. Ego probably is just like, I'm already kind of, I mean, let's be honest here. I'm not the most positive of people. So.
Yeah.
I think I'm a little rancid over here.
Yeah, for any of you who are like of good alignment, if you are like in the vicinity of Ego while she is doing this like identification and just like has these ill wish stones out, like stinky, icky aura, like very like you feel like repulsed being like within 10 to 15 feet of Ego right now because there's like multiple wish stones there.
Can you like throw those away, please?
Ego holding all these stones. You're gonna carry that weight. I don't really know what to do with them.
I don't know, but it's really gross. It's more than just gross. It's like grody.
I could try and destroy them.
I don't know if destroying someone's wish is a good idea, even if it's a bad one.
Well, bad wishes don't deserve to come true.
Well, just because it's in a stone doesn't mean it's coming true, right?
I guess, but I mean, it's also not like destroying this is gonna like hurt somebody.
I mean, what kind of wishes are they?
Oh, this one is a little girl upset that she didn't get whatever an iced cream is, and so she wished that her mother would disappear. This one is from a woman who was cheated on that was wishing her husband would I get on my tippy toes and I whisper to Dawn.
He laughs.
And you literally just told me what was the other one?
The other one was like the inheritance one, like somebody
Right.
wishing that their dad would die so that they could get the inheritance.
Yeah, this is someone wishing that their dad would die to get something called an inheritance.
Oh yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah, happens all the time. Well,
So,
I mean, outside of the inheritance one, which is a little fucked up, the wishes just kind of sound like wishes made when people were venting about bad things happening to them. I don't really.
they're charged with negative emotions, yeah.
Yeah, but do you think something bad might happen to the person if you destroy a wish, even if it's not a good one?
I don't think so.
But you don't know, so.
No, I don't. The only thing I do know is that leaving them here, like, I can't just like bury them in a hole. That's probably gonna grow like a really plant bad seeds, reap bad crops kind of thing, you know? I could just hold on to them, I guess. But it doesn't seem like you even want to get near me, like I have some odor.
Yeah, it's like when you're on, God. So in Waterdeep, we have these carriages that are like 2 stories that like deliver people throughout the city. It's like when you get onto one of those and you have to sit next to somebody who has clearly not showered.
But yeah, so I don't really know. I don't know if they can be cleansed. I don't really do that kind of magic. And anything that I could do to these is either going to destroy them, do nothing to them, or charge them with more negative energy. Maybe Saoirse would know. I don't know. Between all of the other ones capable of magic in the party, I feel like you and Saoirse and even Clover are much more about combating negative energy than enhancing it. No offense to Aurum, but
I guess maybe I could try to something. I don't want to get near it, but it's better than, I guess, leaving it, and it's also better than making you hold it, because, like I said, gross.
well, I mean, I'm also holding a bunch of them at once. I mean, you could probably handle just one of these fine.
Yeah, I guess toss one over to me, and I'll see if I can do something about it.
I'll toss over the inheritance one because you know what inheritance is.
Oh boy.
It's not hard to know what an inheritance is.
So, when you like catch this malignant wish stone, are you good alignment, Dawn?
Yes, as of recently. I
Yeah.
was neutral, I'm not neutral
You
anymore.
were, yeah. Immediately, like, this wave of nausea, like mild nausea, just hits you. It's like that kind of nausea where, like, it's been a little bit too long since you've eaten, and like you feel sick, but you're also like kind of hungry. Like, it's you just feel a little ick holding it.
He sticks out his tongue. Like,
Yeah, like
gross.
every once in a while you get hit with that very, very light, like, nausea sweat.
Yeah.
But other than that, it doesn't have any kind of mechanical effect on you. You just feel icky.
Okay. He's gonna try to see if he can cleanse the emotions or whatever.
Are you gonna do that right now?
While we're walking back, he's just gonna cup it and see if he can foster the light or whatever. He's like, alright.
Okay.
Foster the light or whatever.
Make. So you're kind of just like, yeah, so. Make like a charisma check. You can add your proficiency bonus to it.
Oh boy. Ooh. One shy off of a natural 20. 19 plus 4 plus 3.
So 26. Hell yeah. Yeah, so you cup this stone and focus on like fostering the light. And I think like immediately in your vision, you kind of like your mind palace, if you will, your imagination is kind of taken over with this vision of just like dark purple mist. It's very stinky, it's very icky vibes. But you can see sprouting up from seemingly nowhere in there is this teeny tiny little green sprout with these spiky little leaves, and the little sprout opens up into like a little dandelion. And as you're watching it there, you get the sense that it's not so much like cleansing the wish stone as it is either releasing what's there or replacing it with something of equal measure, like equal but opposite. Because like the wish is already there. It's more like, what are you going to replace it with? So you have this sense of like potential energy before you.
If it's all about wanting inheritance or whatever, he feels weird because he's like, I don't know much about this person and their relationship with their family, but I think he would, since they want like they're specifically seeming to like want some sort of thing from their father or whatever, he's going to try to replace it with the feelings of gratitude.
Okay. So, you focus on feelings of gratitude and like appreciation. And I think maybe for Dawn, you think of gratitude that you have for like your own parents. And there have been very frustrating times with them, especially like for most of your adult life. But they've also like done their best for who they are and the situation that they're in. And, you know, like, I don't think Dawn doesn't seem like the kind of person who faults his parents for being the way that they are. Like, he just does what he can to help them. And I think you focus on that. And in this like imaginary space, you can see that the purple mist begins to subside and a couple more like little dandelions begin to spring up. The effect is not immediate, but something is taking root.
Mm-hmm.
And you think with time, this is the kind of thing that is, it's like tending to a garden. If you every once in a while can like check on what's here and continue to put this good energy into it, you think that you can like fully cleanse this wish stone. Since it's a minor one, you think maybe like one more time and the light will take root here.
Yeah. He sighs and he says, I mean, it would take some time, but I think I could clean them.
I think because you rolled really high on that, there's likely going to be a need like for this, but especially for any like larger or more malicious ill wish stones, there's likely a need to like perform some sort of a ritual and like use your magical energy to truly like cleanse it and completely change it, but like you've kind of started that process.
Yeah. That's basically what I'll say.
Cool. So we have ink, or sorry, not ink. Ego and Dawn investigating the wish stones as you're kind of like returning back into the inn at the end of the road. And Sue is like in a bit of a tizzy right now. She is making sure that like all of her guests are present and accounted for. Is like grabbing bandages and poultices and salves that she has prepared, and is like having the house like put together a big pot of stew for everybody because it's been a very stressful time getting attacked. And there's also still the matter of Wynn, who, although healed, is still kind of like passed out from the mental encounter with Ego. So she's a bit worked up, and as all of you come in back into the inn at the end of the road, she's like, "Oh my stars! I am so sorry. This is not very hostly of me. I did not realize that we were going to be under plant attack. Usually, the plants and I kind of have like a little bit of an accord. You know, I make sure to keep them growing, and then in exchange they give me a little bit, and then I can make stuff. But I've never been attacked by them before. Please, I can give you all, well, I don't know, I'll give you something to make up for it, but please just don't go stay at another inn."
It's fine. If anything, it's our fault.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, really?
Well, we have sort of been messing with the hags a lot lately.
We'll still accept whatever you can give, though.
Of course, right. I like to take real good care of my patrons, so I just want you all to know that I appreciate you. I appreciate what you did taking care of those nasty little buggers. And I'm gonna make it right. You think these came from the hags?
That was my first assumption.
Mine too.
Because they're mad at you? Is this because you kicked Bavlorna out?
We kicked Bavlorna out. We also beat up
Skabatha,
Nightshade.
Almost. Yeah, in Skabatha we were a little bit more
aggressive.
Yeah.
Unkind. She deserves it.
We were
going to say
giving back the
unkindness.
we were giving back the kindness we were given.
Right. Well, in that case, I certainly don't fault you. And I don't think anybody that's staying here would fault the group of you. Even if you did attract that. We all kind of hate the Hourglass Covenant here. So, but I'll get you packed up. Maybe I can give you a little bit of extra food to take on your way. I might have a couple healing potions that I could give you. It's not much, but a little something to give you a boost in case you get attacked again while you're out there.
Anything you have would be very appreciated.
Right. Yeah. Let me get a little basket, a little doggy bag together for you all. And if you need anything, you let old Sue know. And she will go and give each of you a hug if you will allow her. If you don't want a hug, she will shake your hand or give you a nice pat on the shoulder. But yeah, so she goes to get all of that together, and then for Saoirse and for Clover, what would the two of you like to be doing in? Okay. Do you want to do what you just messaged me?
There's no reason. That was just Kristy having a stoner thought. I'm sorry.
You can do that if you want.
She has the ability, and it's it works on creatures and objects, and I think this is a combo of the two.
Are you trying to make it a permanent thing, or are you trying what's the goal here? Is it just no thoughts, just vibes?
I mean, kind of make it yeah, honestly, it would probably be a permanent thing to help Sue out for all that she does for us, because she hears her don't go anywhere else, and she's oh, because Clover at the moment, she's kind of sticking close, but she wants to also stay keep her eyes outside, so she's probably just outside the door with detect magic up, like constantly, because she's now on edge.
Yeah. Okay, roll a D100 for me.
And then the Clover's gonna pass out. It's fine.
Probably.
Again? You just woke up.
Yeah, but this thought.
She's like, it's not enough. I need the embrace of the grave.
She's a cat.
I
She's a
just
cat.
had-
She's like,
Yeah,
back to sleep.
she's a chaotic. I mean, it is a chaotic cat thought. Like, what if I did this and see what happened?
I mean, it's fine. Saoirse just did it twice and, like, literally woke up and immediately
Oh my
pushed
God.
the big magic again to help win. So, like,
I don't know if
I'm not
this
gonna
is.
judge.
I don't know if this is good or bad, but I rolled a 92.
That's good because this was going to be the measure of success was 80 to 100. So,
Oh, shit!
Because this is, I think this is like a little bit of a bigger thing because you're trying to like permanently change the structure and like size of a building.
Yeah.
So this one's like kind of a little bit. It's just more raw power needed in a sense. It's not necessarily
Clover's
higher
thinking-
stakes.
If we can, like, I don't know if we can get this thing to cross over to the next area, but like we have like we're building an army.
Are you okay? So then, are you trying to just enlarge it, or are you trying to like get the house on a path elsewhere?
At the moment, she's trying to enlarge it because she's like,
Okay.
I don't even know if it's possible to do this. She's trying to enlarge it.
Okay, and then I need you to roll me another D100.
Okay. Not as good. 45. Do I pass out again? I feel like this is what happened last
roll
time.
a D4.
Oh no.
You summon 4 to ask.
Yay.
1.
Okay.
One.
You are standing there, and what does enlarge reduce? Like, what does that casting look like for Clover?
I think it's a bit different because it is like the Fae. It's her Fae casting.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like as she like lands on the roof of the building, you see a bunch of like 4-leaf clovers start to sprout over like the roof of the building and kind of like drapes over it like a weeping willow of clovers, and then it just slowly begins to like enlarge underneath like the boughs of the clover.
Okay. Yeah, so you cast the spell and you see all of these little bunches of clover flowers popping up, and all of a sudden, like, very suddenly the inn at the end of the road, like, it's like grows and then grows and then grows, and as you can tell, like, the final moment of growth is happening, some of the clovers that, like, because you're, like, standing on the roof here, surrounded by all of this clover, some of the, like, really, like, long, like, big, well-established pieces here in this vine, they actually, like, wrap around your legs and
Ooh.
very quickly creep up your whole body, and you feel that you start getting, like, little roots and tendrils that go into, like, they go down your mouth, they go into your eyes, into your nose,
Ooh.
it's this, like, very... It's not necessarily painful, but it's like a deeply uncomfortable experience
So
of just like
tickly.
feeling things crawling into you. And there's a weight that is pulled from you.
Okay.
But it is also your strength. Or like your force of will. You have lost access to your magic for the next week.
How is she gonna kill?
With a knife, I guess.
I have my crossbow. That never stopped me before.
There
Yeah.
we go. That's the mentality.
So there's like this moment where these clovers are like, you become encased in them as well, and for a moment, like, you have a vision of the stars that are then woven over and closed off from you by like a carpet of clover.
Oh, that is so cool. I'm so glad I used Clover. That sounds...
So Luna vanishes.
No!
She just poof in like a little burst of starlight and like purpley blue black clouds. She's like, wait, what? Just like poof is gone.
Oh no.
yeah, you no longer have magic for the next several short rests.
I think I just sit down in the bed of Clover and I'm not moving. I think she's kind of in shock that it worked and the cost.
Yeah, so, from the inside, for those of you who are inside of the tavern, one, if you look out the windows, there's just green, little roots and things that, like, very quickly cascade down and like, obscure all vision to the outside. And then you hear this, like, creaking and groaning of wood and stone. And all of the rooms get a little bit bigger. Like, the common area had a very, like, cozy vibe with all of the chairs being, like, overstuffed and worn. There's a little bit more room in there now. There is now a staircase up to a third floor that did not exist before. So there's a whole other floor. And I think, like, for those of you who are inside, Sue is like, alright, what is going on? I don't know if I have it in me to deal with 2 attacks in one day. Oh my stars! Can somebody tell me what's happening right now? And I think she looks at, like, if Aurum is there, and, like, when Dawn gets in, I think she's, like, very confused and is like, what is happening? Do I need to close up shop? What is going on?
Aurum's just sitting on a table with, like, a little jar of dirt, like, slowly pushing a bean into the dirt.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, no. Don is probably gonna sigh and say, I'll go check it out.
Let me put a quick pin in that. Saoirse, what are you doing now?
Well, I know the last thing Saoirse was doing was, like, pretending to look like she was actually helping with the investigation stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I think she's just, like, sort of casually, as everybody else is walking back, she's like, oh good, I'm off the hook. So she's also just casually, like, walking back to the inn. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think because knowing Saoirse, I let me know if I'm wrong here. I think it's safe to venture that as she was pretending to be helpful, she probably saw, like, a really cool rock or, like, found, like, a baby.
She absolutely got distracted. Yeah.
Like, she found, like, a tadpole that's, like, halfway to frog, so it's, like, a weird, freaky little thing, and she was probably, like, talking to it, and it was probably like, I had no concept of life and reality before this moment. And, like, so she was probably outside, like, having a good time.
Tadpole, yeah.
Yeah, giving a little baby frog, an existential crisis or something, being like, hey, one day I might fall asleep, forever if I don't find my true love. And, like, I don't know what love is! I'm 3 days old!
Well, it's alright because you're going to probably die and never know love anyway. So, don't worry about that.
Okay.
That's
bad if it makes you go to sleep forever!
Oh no, you won't go to sleep forever. You'll just die.
And this frog just starts, like, crying. And I think you're like, oh, I should probably, like, go in now. My job here is done. And you look up and you can see that, like, the inn at the end of the road is covered in, like, a carpet of clover. Clover, the person, is up on the roof, being encased in Clover, the plant. And, like, as you're taking this all in, the inn at the end of the road is, like, growing in size. A third floor, like, appears in the building. And then Clover just kind of, like, is unwrapped from all of these plants and just, like, falls back in and is, like, on the roof, just, like, laying there. Yeah. Everybody else had gone inside just before this all, like, transpired.
Honestly, Saoirse being Saoirse, I think her vibe is like, oh, the house, like, just grew up. Like, it went from being, like, a puberty, yeah. Yeah. She's like, oh, that's nice. What is Clover doing, though, and why is she part of it? I think is the only, like, asterisk on the end of that. Like, how is Clover involved in this house's puberty situation? That's a little odd, but if she's okay, then I'm okay. Everything is fine.
So, because Saoirse can, like, kind of see people's auras, I think as you see Clover, like, go from standing wrapped in Clover to, like, laying down, her aura immediately changes, like, in an instant. Normally, hers has a lot of pink and purple, but there's this sort of, like, swirl, like, yin and yang thing going on, where, like, sometimes you get this, like, comforting dark of, like, a peaceful night, and that is always competing with this very bright, like, summery magic that you've kind of seen before. Like, when she's done certain her Fey magic castings, you have been able to see that is coming from a place with, like, this very sunny, summery flavor. And so sometimes it's, like, sun, sometimes that's eclipsed by night. The night is gone, and the sun is almost all gone, pretty much, too. There's, like, a little bit of sunlight left, but her aura is almost, like, non-existent right now. It's very, very faint.
I guess I'll start climbing the house.
Sure.
To get to Clover.
I feel like you're good at climbing. She might be dead. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I mean, like, this is Saoirse, so she's like, oh, that's sad. But, you know, she was mortal. So it was gonna happen eventually.
She's like, wow, I didn't realize it happened that fast, but...
yeah, I was like, wow, you really are a butterfly.
Yeah. So you can climb up there. I feel like Saoirse's a tree climber.
Physical changes before they die, but, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Clover, you just laying there?
I'm just laying there, looking up.
I think you probably see Saoirse, like, appearing, because it's, like...
I'm just looming.
First it's, like, her head, and you don't really see it, and then it's just, like, body, and more body, just, like, emerging up.
And then she does the, like, really awkward thing where she, like, stands next to you, and then it's just sort of, like, leaning over, but she's, like, super, super tall, so it's, like, really extremely awkward. Are you dead?
I'm not dead.
Oh, alright, well, that's good. I think probably
Luna
good.
disappeared. I think I pushed too hard on my magic again. I didn't think it would do that.
Yeah, sometimes well, I mean, it sort of knocked me out completely, so I get it.
I just wanted to help Sue. She's been so helpful, and then we have a lot of, like, people, and I wanted to send more people towards her, and it just felt like it would be a good thing, you know? Like, bigger house, like an upgrade. I always wanted a big house.
Oh, you did this! I thought it was just a house. You know, that's how it grew.
No, I made it bigger. But I think I made it, like, bigger permanently instead of for, like, 10 minutes. Oh, Ricky.
R.I.P.
He's trying to kill the cord. Nope. Well, okay, so the house is bigger. I'm not sure what that does, but that's good. You have no aura.
Oh.
Anymore.
Oh, that's...
that is a modern insult.
That is a modern insult. And I think Clover's ears.
Just 10,000 aura.
10,000 aura.
Clover's ears flattened to her head, like, oh. Just the airplane ears, like, oh.
Is there some? I mean, I don't know what that means exactly.
I don't feel my friend, and I don't feel Luna, and I don't feel my magic.
Oh, so you need magic?
I think it's gone.
Well, I could be able to help with that, right?
Maybe.
Because sometimes people like you know, mortals, get magic from making deals with Archfey.
Oh.
Maybe we can make a deal, and I can share some of my magic with you.
Maybe.
I think perhaps if...
Oh! You're here!
You're on the roof! You come out and be on the roof.
No, I was going to say I think perhaps... This is not ego. I think perhaps by now Ego is looking for Clover and Saoirse because the house just got bigger.
What the fuck happened?
Yeah.
I didn't want to interrupt, but I would like to say I would like to move towards this scene if that is okay.
Would the rest of you like to kind of get to looking for Saoirse and Clover? They're easy to find. You just follow the infinite carpet of clover that is emanating from the roof of the building.
Yeah, climbing up it.
Or does Aurum want to go while he's pushing his bean in the dirt?
Does anybody tell Aurum to come? Because
yeah.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, I'll get up.
I would at least.
But when I get to the roof, I'm gonna water.
Why? He's gonna water the bean. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
So easily enough, this is not like a high stakes situation. You guys can get up to the roof by whatever means you see fit. Clover is laying.
My legs stretch.
Yeah, you just like get really long.
Did you do like a Play-Doh? Like...
Clover is laying on the roof, surrounded by Clover the plant. She definitely has some like bags under her eyes, looking a little sapped. Saoirse is there, bent over her, saying that she has no aura. And there you are, and Aurum is holding a little pot of dirt and watering it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I look at Dawn and I look back at the rest of our party and Ego's just like, this isn't how I expected to find everybody after a battle.
I agree.
So, I mean, this is exactly what I expected.
I'm sorry.
I mean, not exactly. I expected that it would be strange because it's always strange.
Clover, are you okay?
I think so. But Luna's gone.
What do you mean gone?
She just disappeared after I cast the spell.
That was you?
Yeah. I just
You
thought...
enlarged...
Yeah, I just thought it would be nice for Sue to have, like, a bigger place. Especially because I feel like we have a lot of people that would want to be here. And there didn't feel like there was enough room. I didn't even think it would work. I just wanted to try.
Well, it did work. That
Yeah.
is some very impressive magic. Saoirse, what does no aura mean?
I think it means her magic is gone, which is why we're talking about, like, maybe I can share my magic with her.
Oh. Well...
Because sometimes Archfey, like myself, can share their magic with mortals, like, her.
Well, she already has magic from somebody, right?
But it's gone. That's what I was just saying. It's just,
But
the aura's gone, the magic is gone.
But what would happen if it comes back?
Oh, I don't know.
Do you think it will come back?
I mean,
Oh, I don't.
to me, it's kind of similar to like when you fell asleep, right?
Oh, maybe. So I just need to
People
sleep
like-
for a few days?
Maybe you
then
have to wait.
Luna will
I
be
don't
back?
know.
Well... You don't remember the circumstances in which you got your powers, right?
All very, like a haze. I remember some flashes.
Do you remember the being?
Do I, Vic? Did I see, like, they
So-
manifested as a cat, but, like, I don't know if she was aware when it was happening. She knew later.
If you would like to roll a history check to see if you can uncover more, you may do so, or I can give you the default information that Clover just knows. But you can also rack your brain if you would like to.
I'll try to rack my brain. This feels important because, as sweet as the offer is to be my new patron, she's like, I want Luna. I want my friends. I don't want to just. I don't want to replace them.
You're just not being this is a situation where she's not being nefarious. She's genuinely oh, you don't have magic anymore. Maybe I can help.
Yeah, she understands that, but she's also
not gonna be insulted.
No, but she's also super attached to Luna and. By default, her friend. I have to re-roll. That was a nat 20.
Oh. Do it again.
No, it's not. But it's not bad. Dirty 20.
Okay. So, you sit and think for a second, and I think as this, bone-deep exhaustion is washing over you in the face of what the magic that you have just done. And you have not felt this tired probably since you lost your mother.
Right. Yeah.
This is another level of tired. I think that there's a little bit of clarity that comes to Clover in that moment because you realize that even though your magic is gone, the sheer force of it is not weighing down on you, and in a way because your magic that you get from your patron is very cerebral, it's very mental, almost psionic.
Yeah.
It's almost like a protective barrier that was put down around you is a little bit lifted in this moment.
Oh, okay.
So I think we have a little bit of a flashback scene here. This literally, I don't think the fact that you have no magic right now makes this kind of more possible.
Flashback to reality. Oh, there goes gravity.
Yep. Sad buddy. Whoa.
So, Clover, you enter back into your memories, and some of the very foggy, mismatched puzzle pieces start to fall into place. So a lot of the details are still kind of cloudy, but you remember being in the forest and effectively falling down a well, I believe is what we kind of was how you entered the Feywild, very Alice in Wonderland kind of style. And from what you remember, you were in a massive primeval forest, a forest so old and so well established that it makes the forests of hither look very young and small by comparison. You have this memory of approaching a great tree that housed within its boughs a city the size of which you have never seen, a palace that your mind could only ever comprehend in dreams and fairy tales, and you remember just being surrounded by so many people, and this was still when you were a halfling. You can see yourself, as this kind of this little halfling girl, very mundane, just in this tree city with tens of thousands of people from all walks of life that previously Clover truly could never have even fathomed were real. And it was extremely overwhelming. You remember that there were probably a couple circumstances or situations where you found yourself your kindness taken advantage of, and you were very confused by well, why did I say thank you and then this person wanted all of my gold? Why did I ask somebody for help and then they wanted me to marry them? That's crazy. And you were you remember kind of getting to a point where you were running, crying, down a random alleyway, and you basically ran into a dead end that had a little shop in it. And it had the door of this shop, the facade of this shop was very mundane, very nondescript, but you remember seeing a very cheerful, smiling, happy face painted on the sign outside of the door. And so you were maybe they'll help. I don't know. And you went in, and immediately, I think you have this memory of, hold on, I'm trying to figure out, like, the interior of this shop was very cozy, felt very personal, like you were going to have a one-on-one service. And you remember that there was, like, a very, like, a kindly but mysterious, like, shopkeep. This individual whose face you never saw. They were fully wreathed head to toe in, like, a big, long cloak that completely shadowed their face, and you could only see, like, 2 little pinpricks of light there, like, where their eyes were reflecting the way that a cat's, like, or an animal's kind of would. And they sat you down, and you remember them, you know, comforting you and telling you, like, this must be really confusing and really scary. Like, do you want to tell me what's going on? And you, needing a place of comfort, just spill.
Yeah.
And then you're immediately like, oh, but I'm fine! I'm fine!
It's fine!
Don't worry about me, I'm all good! So you have that memory. And you remember this person sitting in silence with you for a while, and then eventually just telling you, I can't necessarily get you back home, but I can offer you something that might give you some help. And you were like, well, I don't really have any money, like, I didn't realize, I got robbed! Unintentionally allowed myself to be robbed. Like, you're like, I literally have the clothes on my back, and at this point, who knows how long those are gonna be there, because people keep fucking me over. And so you were like, I guess I just don't have anything to offer, and the shopkeep told you, that's okay, you actually do have something that you can offer. And you were led back into they basically took you back and, like, said, let me show you my shop. And brought you in from this cozy little meeting room, to a gallery of faces. And you remember walking down aisle upon aisle with different faces of different creatures. There were the faces blank and emotionless of humans, of monstrous creatures that you had never seen before. Orcs, Goliaths, elves, and fae. And there was one face that you saw that there was just something about it that you were like, that person just looks so happy. Like, even though this face is just here blank, there's, like, something drew you to it. And so you picked this face. And the shopkeep was more than happy to make a trade with you. That face for yours. And with nothing else to offer, and with no real options in sight, I think, Clover just decided, like, what has my face ever done for me that's been any good? And there was a part of you that probably really, really struggled with it, and you were allowed to stay in that shop to ruminate over it for as long as you wanted, because, this is the face that your mother gave you. But because your mother gave it to you, she would want you to do what you needed to survive. More than anything, that your mother would want you to keep going. And so you decided to make...
Oh, did we lose her?
Victoria!
I assume she says make the deal. Rip. It'd be funny if she could still hear us, but her computer's just being a bitch.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Probably switching on to her phone
Yeah,
now.
she's probably gonna switch on to her phone. Give her a minute.
Hey, chat.
Oh my
It's
god!
just you and us.
The Hall of Many Faces is Clover's reason? Oh my god!
Victoria, don't say anything if I'm allowed to hit level 20.
God damn it!
Oh my god, well...
Oh my god! We're level 20?
Yeah,
Or just Dawn? Just Dawn.
Good. Just done.
Just Dawn.
Oh.
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 On my PC. What do you remember hearing?
I think you were, like, on the cusp of saying that I take the deal. I think.
Okay, so you didn't hear me say, like, what the process was like for...
No.
Okay. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay.
So you don't have. I think my PC is coming back online, so I might. Hold on. Let me get this.
Yeah, you're good. Oh, apparently Dawn's level 20. She left again. He said, "Fuck you."
Nope, that's fine. You're level 20 now. Have fun. The Tarrasque does awaken because of that.
Oh no!
I can
So,
follow a
now that I'm, I believe in you. Now that I'm back, thank you. I'm very sorry for that.
All good.
You the memory of okay, so you heard the part about like, this is the face that your mother gave you, but
Yes.
you know that your mother would also want you
To survive.
to survive.
Yeah.
Because she was very practical and like she was definitely the kind of mom who would teach you like the medieval fantasy equivalent of like when you walk to your car, put your keys in between your knuckles.
Yep,
and, like,
100%.
Keep this little whistle on your keychain and carry pepper spray. Like your mom was very much like, and as poorly as it stuck, your mom really tried to teach you street smarts. So you decided to take the deal. The process of this exchange happening is very cloudy in your mind. You remember it being extremely painful, but you don't really remember like how this happened. But then all of a sudden, you have a memory of looking into this big ornate mirror in this tiny little shop that somehow, like from the outside, looked so small, but contains rows upon rows, endless amounts of different faces. And there you were, and you are not this little halfling girl anymore, but instead you were this beautiful fairy with, this amazing like pink and purple hair, and oddly enough, cat ears and a tail. You thought maybe that was like a little. You didn't really know what the cat ears were when you saw it.
It's a bonus.
But immediately, oh, sorry. Hold on. I got a message. Yeah. So pretty much immediately, like when you had this face, there was like a weight, like almost like putting like a big warm cloak over your shoulders, or like having like your friend like hugging you and like feeling their body weight on you, but it's not a burden.
Right.
And you remember having that weight with you, and initially you were then able to like get out of this city and use these little fey powers that you had with like druid crafting and things to make your way out. But there were a couple instances where you remember like being able to do weird things. Like you probably were trying to leave the forest and maybe got attacked by some red caps because they're just everywhere.
Yeah.
They're like mosquitoes. And all of a sudden, like you remember this magic, like these magical spectral cat paws emanating from you and just like eviscerating these red caps, and you're probably like,
I knew it. I knew it. She's always been.
Don't bully me.
But yeah, then after that, for the first time, when you dreamed, you stopped. You kind of stopped having your normal dreams of, like, oh, I dreamt that I was back in high school again, and that really sucked. Or like, I dreamt that I was like farming and all of the vegetables were teeth. Like whatever weird cursed thing that a normal dream would be is immediately replaced by just darkness.
Okay.
But a distinct feeling of not being alone.
Oh.
And eventually, with multiple instances of you feeling almost literally like guided in a direction, you find your way back to the material plane. Like you walk out of this forest and all of a sudden there's your village. There's Amphale. And then from there Clover would remember that like the first time she truly spoke to her patron was she found like a little white cat in the streets that she then had her little like running through the alleyways moment, climbing through a pile of trash and emerging into like the void.
Yeah.
And speaking with this entity that told her like, I'm here for you. I want to help take care of you, but I will need your help someday too, so please don't let me down.
Right.
So yeah, I think you would like kind of have that memory that like you traded your face. And in so doing, not only did you gain a new face, you also gained a friend.
Oh yeah, I think as like she's remembering it, she's speaking out loud as if she's like in disbelief as the memory comes. So everyone at the party, like around her, hears it as she's like experiencing like the flashback.
Oh.
That's a very in-depth answer.
It just came to me just now. It's like a veil was lifted. I mean, there's still parts that I don't really remember, but I remember that.
It didn't sound like there was any condition that would take your powers away. I do know you've said that, you're on kind of a short fuse with it. Borrowed magic and all of that. I think that you just... How would I put it?
Burnt out?
Yeah. You burnt a little bit more fuse than you should have in a day.
That makes sense. I'll just have to take it easy for a while, I guess, until I feel like I can bring Luna back. Maybe.
Yeah. You shouldn't overexert yourself like that. And Ego's gonna try to... Ego doesn't do a lot of physical comfort stuff. I'm gonna try and pet you.
Aww.
Like, with the ear. Like, it's kind of like a one part fix your hair and one part, like, pet the cat ear. But it's so... it's so awkward. It's like a...
Yeah.
She just like leans into your hand.
While all of this is happening, Aurum, you're like, you're listening to the story because Aurum cares about his friends and, cares about Little Cat, and Little Cat's going through it right now. But you can't help but just be a little distracted by the fact that this pot of dirt that you have pushed a bean into and then watered is now sprouting this, like, little grayish white stalk. And another, and all of a sudden this little pot of dirt begins sprouting all of these little stalks, 12 of them in fact. And you watch as very rapidly, as like we're getting to the point of Clover finishing her story and Ego, awkwardly comforting her. The pot like breaks because within the course of a couple of minutes, that singular watered bean grows into 12 U-sized mushrooms with bright red stalks and these like grayish white caps. That all of these. Okay, hold on. How do I say this in a trypophobia friendly way? I'm gonna make it. The mushrooms have mouths, and the mouths open up and immediately start screaming so loud that it would definitely be audible within at least 300 feet of where you are right now. So there are now, as this moment of comfort is concluding, all of a sudden, as like 12 giant mushrooms are just screaming.
Never let Aurum have a child because they also scream when they're bored.
So they have an AC of 5 and 13 hit points. So like, if you want to spend like, a minute up here just punching mushrooms, you can.
Yeah. I'm gonna put lights out on all the mushrooms.
Aurum!
Yeah. It doesn't cause any damage. It's just like extremely loud screaming.
Aurum, just throw the pot.
The pot shattered.
They're meat-sized!
Why did you even do that?
What is this?
Magic beans! I hold them back.
Saoirse is like rolling on the ground laughing. She thinks this is the funniest thing she's seen in a while.
I think Ego is laughing too, just because this is beautiful chaos, but also so loud.
Yeah, and it's like, because these mushrooms are medium-sized, like, entities, and they only have this, like, little pot of dirt to grow from, like, they're most of them, I think, like, maybe 3 of them stay kind of standing up as the dirt hits the ground. The rest of them just all, like, fall over and, like, start rolling off of the roof, or they get, like, wedged into, like, a wonky little, like, shingle, and so there's just these like giant mushrooms laying around screaming like nonstop, and then Aurum is just beating on them. Yeah, They don't
I'm gonna chase
offer
'em.
resistance. Yeah, you know, well, interestingly enough, one of them probably rolls off of the roof, and then, like, because the house is kind of always, like, meandering around, once the house is 30 feet away from that mushroom, that one stops screaming.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, never mind.
But it's just like a mushroom sitting in the dirt.
And we got free food. Are they edible?
Would you like to try to eat
Anything's
that?
edible if you try hard enough.
Oh, I'd love to. I'm gonna try to eat it.
Okay.
Says Saoirse
Yeah,
after
We
making
just
glass
can't-
candy.
We can't
Exactly.
finish one thing and take a breath before we start the next thing. There's a war we need to go to eat it.
Just eat it.
Yeah, so you can take, like, one of the kind of crushed caps from one of these mushrooms and just kind of, like, after you're done beating on them, you just pick it up and you're like, oh,
Oh,
just
wait, actually, nope, okay. I was just gonna suggest maybe we get off the roof in case you, like, fall unconscious because you're very heavy.
It's all right. It'll be fine.
You can
roll
just
a,
sleep on the roof, it's fine.
roll a Constitution saving throw.
There's just been a lot of falling unconscious lately, and
14 plus 3. 17.
Okay. Let me just check something really quick. Yeah, you know, it has this kind of like acidic, meaty flavor to it, and like a little bit earthy, gritty kind of finish, but you're able to just like chow down on the raw cap of this mushroom.
All right.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. You keep it down for now.
Perfect.
So you birthed something,
Huh?
killed it, and ate it.
I didn't
In the
birth this.
span-
I planted it, and it grew out of my pot.
You created this life, slayed it, and ate it in the span of a few minutes.
It's a mushroom.
Aurum, you and I both know that to just call it a mushroom is a gross oversimplification of the last few events that just transpired.
It was a screaming mushroom.
Alright, well, the next time you need to go into the bushes or something and I hear screaming coming from you when it's making its way back out, don't say I didn't warn you.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
what's the worst that could happen? We were told if I eat things, I get like magic from it or something. So,
You were told that?
yeah.
Were you really told
Even
that?
in the material plane, I
Wait,
am well aware that
maybe
you
you
can't
should eat the
just
mushroom
eat
then.
random plants.
if they can give you magic, if eating things gives you magic, then maybe Clover should eat them.
Let's not eat
No, thank
the
you.
carcasses of the screaming mushrooms from the
Oh.
magic bean.
No, thank you.
No. Sam told me.
Didn't
that
you just eat the bean?
That's a
Oh, well, that's
wonderful
what I do
idea.
with my magic.
No, I grab his arm.
No, you should.
I
That's
grab
what
his
that's what I do with my magic beans. Is like
No. That was supposed to be a hyperbolic statement about why that's a bad idea.
Beans.
No.
Are you
If
trying?
If he holds the bean close to his mouth, I'm gonna jump in the air and slap him in the face.
Aurum, are you like seriously trying to eat this bean?
No, I'm not
Please
trying
don't.
to. No, I
Okay.
grabbed the bag.
Okay. Oh. We need to get
I
back to
put all
yawn.
the beads in my mouth.
We need to get back to yawn,
Yeah,
but
we
we
do.
also did we actually sleep here? I don't think we
I mean,
actually
I
have
slept.
slept here. Well, you
Saoirse has. I don't think the rest
you
of us have yet.
I could use
unwillingly
another
slept
rest. To be
here.
honest.
Let's
Rest.
One where I don't sleep. I want to rest where I don't sleep. Figured.
which
We did sleep here.
Did we?
Sam talked to me here,
Yeah.
and I fell asleep. And then Sam was here.
Yeah, he fell asleep, but the rest of you did not sleep.
Mm.
Because that was while everybody else was like wandering around.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
so
Aurum was
yeah,
napping.
we should probably sleep.
Yeah, because then
Yeah.
part 2 of the conversation was like in the waking time, but part
Right,
1
right.
was...
Right. That's right.
Terrible it would be if he
Did-
talked to me in my sleep again.
In all of this interim, what's happened with Wynn? Do any of you guys know?
No, I cured her.
Is she mad at me? Did I hurt her?
I don't know. She's still sleeping.
Like a coma? Like,
No, like just a nap.
okay.
She's recovering from she. There was she's got some sort of curse, and it got. It's sort of what happened to me. The curse kind of went crazy, and then I just calmed it down a bit, and now she's okay. But she's still napping.
Did she curse me or anything?
She's asleep, so.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I can, Oh, so much magic was used by me today. I really need to be in my room and not talk to anybody.
Honestly, same. Me at 5 o'clock.
Me by like 3. What are you talking about?
Me when I wake up for the day. Oh, man. Okay, so nap time? Okay.
Yeah.
So for Maffei Lost, if y'all could roll, except for Clover.
It feels like an unending cycle.
Oh,
I'm
Because
cut
I just
off.
woke up. From the
you
nap
get
from my
normie
last-
sleep. Normie sleep.
Yeah, Clover, you do just like fall into a void of black, like and an undreaming sleep.
It's a D8, right?
Yeah, it's a D8.
Okay.
It's a date.
4 plus
Oh
4.
boy!
D8.
I hope I see more victims of war.
Oh my god.
Oh boy!
That's definitely what ego needs right now.
Okay, so you got a 5. And
Oh
then
yeah,
the-
you saw it? Okay, cool.
Yes. And then what did Saoirse get?
6.
Okay. Oh, cool. Okay. When Ego goes back to their room and is like kind of getting ready for bed for the evening, like what's going on in Ego's like mind palace? Like emotionally, mentally, the litmus test giving right now.
Oh, I'm thinking about the Knight of Thorns, that I saw inside my own brain, of course. I think that is like a very, I think the fight was only a brief distraction and all of the shenanigans with friends was just a brief distraction. And then that image, and his response of like, I am you, is, I am shooketh to my core.
Okay. So for Ego, you fall asleep and a lot of your thoughts and attention as you drift away are occupied on that vision of this man who said that he was you. He was a strange knight, but he had like a hole in his armor and right through his chest, and there was no heart, just a ball of thorns. And that thought is occupying like everything that you have as you go to sleep.
Yeah.
You come awake and you find yourself laying in a little bed with a leaf pulled over you as a blanket. It's like a little maple leaf. And the bed that you can tell is made out of like matches, like little matchsticks. And you have a thimble that is filled with water that for you is like a big like cup of water by your bedside. But you can see as you kind of like look around that there are several other little beds all around in this room with you, almost like it's a barracks.
Well, obviously, wake up immediately drinking some water. You know how it is. Gotta have that water by your bed. But also, look and see what I look like in the reflection.
Yeah, as you look into the reflection, you are staring into the eyes of a pixie. A pixie with bright pink, like very short hair that has like little pink like zinnias coming out of it, and this dress that's made from like woven dried prairie grass with like little pink zinnias coming off of it. And you have like this set of like pink fluffy, almost cloud-like wings coming out of your back.
The Feywild plays tricks on me, making me always be so pretty. Are there others sleeping in the little beds, or is it just me?
It's just you.
I might be late. I'm late. I'm late for a very important date. Does it look like I have... If it looks like a little barracks, do I have like a little footlocker with
You
little...
do.
What's in my little footlocker?
A little set of armor made out of acorn caps and like cool rocks. A couple little seashells too.
All right, well, I'm gonna put on my little armor and I'm gonna take a little weapon.
Yeah, so you would probably find that there is like you have like a lance that's kind of in like there's like a weapon rack that at the end of the room that there's only one weapon left, and it's this lance that's made out of like a thorn. And you have like a little shield too that's just like a big like scallop seashell.
This is great. I need to play a campaign where everyone's just really tiny the entire time. I'm gonna grab you know, you gotta just walk a mile in these Louboutins, so I'm flying out with my gear, see what's going on.
Yeah. So you can exit the room here and you find yourself in a network of like or very organically carved tunnels. But I think eventually like you're able to figure out that this is definitely some sort of like a tree network, like you're inside of a tree. And soon enough you would come out into the boughs, and you find that you are in like a small city of like not just tiny little pixies. There are many like pixies and sprites around, but there are also large creatures. There are like centaurs fully like walking through this like the branches of this tree. All of the buildings here are made out of a mix of like the wood of this tree itself, and also this sort of like pearly like stone that has this iridescent like shimmer to it that through like the boughs of this tree that are all around are like when light is filtering through it, when the stone like catches the light, it's almost like blinding, like it'll make these like shimmering rainbow flashes. But yeah, you can see like up as the tree grows, there is like a palace at like the peak of its trunk. You're kind of like lower down. It's very like it's a little bit of like what is it where Galadriel lives? Is it Lothlorien where they're like in the trees and stuff? It's kind of like that, except it's like all just one really freaking big tree. But there's like different walkways and pathways that are connected. You fully have wings so you can fly. But you can see that there seems to be like a lot of people that are in a bit of a rush right now. Seem to be like a lot of people carrying weapons or wearing some kind of an armor. In like this area that you're in, there's like a lot of soldierly vibes.
I was gonna say, is it just... I mean, I think I just need to fall in line, but I don't know. It doesn't look like this is like an army being deployed, or is it just patrols? Because this is like where all the guards are. Or...
You get the sense that like you are at like a military base, but like you are at like the hub of it. Like this is clearly like the home base for some kind of like military force or an army. So like, you know, there's guards, but there are also like, as you're looking out onto like the boughs of the tree, that like very video game style, there will be like a branch like that will come out, and have like a platform just made of leaves that like people are like standing on. Like there are people like different groups that are like training and doing things like that. It seems like there are groups that are being sent out like on missions, but this seems like a central base.
Damn. All right. Are there like flags or like a coat of arms that I can try to commit to memory?
Make a perception check.
Yeah, okay. Not performance. Perception. 14?
Yeah, so sorry, 1 second. I have to look something up. Is it this? Nope. Where is it? There it is. Found it. So, oh my god, bro, please.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry.
Parent. No, that's fine. Okay, parent turning off the lights on me.
So you would
Jesus.
find, sure enough, probably like a higher ranking soldier, like an elven individual, will pass by, and on their armor, you would see a coat of arms. It is a yellow sunburst over a vibrant green field, with a brown and silver tree, like, over the front of it.
That is very interesting. I'll try to commit it to memory as best I can. But I'm gonna see if I can find maybe other pixie soldiers and fall in line with them. I think I just wanna, I'm always waking up in these new places. I wanna just try and glean what's going on.
You're like, what the fuck is happening? So I'm trying to like draw this, but this is just like really, really bad, so I apologize. But it's like, ooh, what is happening?
Yep.
So there's like a tree. This is so bad, and it's like
Yeah.
brown, but there's also some silver in it, and I don't know if I do have that. And then like the sunburst is like boop 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 boop.
Okay.
Like that. That's so ass. I'm sorry.
I get it.
Yeah, so you can fall into line and kind of just like listen out for like what people are saying, try to get an idea of like what's going on. Give me one more perception check. Actually, make it an investigation check, because I feel like you're kind of like making yourself blend in, but in a way that you can like listen.
Okay. 15.
Okay,
I would
yeah.
love if I could get like a 27 one day, but we'll see.
So you eventually are able to find like a group of pixie soldiers that are training, and one of them who's like off to the side taking a water break sees you and is like gestures you over and is like, "You're late." And so while you're there training, you're able to kind of just like, listen to what's going on here. Maybe you ask this other pixie for like an update or like, oh, like what's going on. And you are able to ascertain that the Court of Stars has fallen and has become closed off. They have also accidentally bridged a connection to the Abyss. And this is all coming to you completely out of context, like, for you, because this individual, like this other pixie, is telling you as if you are somebody who already has all the context, so you're just like getting hit with like information with no context. You would also be told that the Summer Court like you guys, they're like, we have to mobilize soon, because at this point, like the Wild Hunt, under their master has amassed an army that holds allegiance to no court, and is corrupted by like they basically like refer to whoever seems to be in charge as like the Lord of Thorns, and they basically just tell you like the Lord of Thorns is so powerful that he can basically just erase entire courts if he wants to, and that there have been reports of smaller domains. Like they would tell you like that bubble domain that we went to on vacation that one time, gone. It's just a domain of tears now. And when we went to that other little domain that was made out of cotton candy, like now it's just teeth. And basically, like this Lord of Thorns is not just like destroying other domains and other courts, which you would know just from what you ego have been told, that like courts are basically like collections of multiple domains that then gather under like a single banner. This individual doesn't just destroy them. They are able to so fully and thoroughly corrupt them that they just become like the opposite of whatever like idea and feeling and thought that they sprung forth from, can just be completely corrupted with like negative energy. And that like this individual's basically like, I don't know, like they're like, I just want you to know, like I've never been to war before, and I didn't really think that either of us was gonna get drafted, but if it's for Titania, then, like, you know, it's really important, and I'm glad that at least if we die on the field of battle, it'll be together. And, like, they're just, like, crying as they're, like, talking to you.
Me too. Oh, Titania above. Okay. Wild Hunt is the Wild Hunt's master is this Lord of Thorns? Or two different guys.
You don't remember all of those crazy stories? Like, I mean, we thought they were fake. Did you like you must have smoked a little bit too much Fey weed last night, huh?
I totally was not listening to the briefing, man, and that's why I woke up late. I boofed it real hard.
That's okay. I got really drunk on Fey wine. I kind of just like didn't know how to deal. Still kind of processing all of this, but yeah. So based on like the intel that they got, it seems like the Wild Hunt and the Lord of Thorns are kind of one and the same. Like the Lord of Thorns was the leader of whatever they were before, but now they're the Wild Hunt because whatever they were, he made them into what they are now because he just defiles. He just all of the things that are like good and cool and fun about the Feywild, he just really like I know that, you know, like for mortals, like they have happy and sad and all of those things, but for like sadness to be made into its own like place and then also be taking over like everything here, it's like kind of crazy and it's like really scary.
Yeah. But we serve Titania.
Yeah, I'm really, really glad that we were in that little domain of bubbles. That would have been so horrible. At least Titania's, like, really strong.
And you know what? I say acorns to the domain of bubbles. You know? Puh. Right?
It was
we
really
got Titania. It was. And now it's not. So, what do we do? What do we summer court people do when there's something sad?
We beat it up and get angry? Or we show that we're better?
I was going to say we push it down. We push it down. We push it deep down. I heard that one time.
Well, that must have been
like a spring thing, but
yeah,
you
that must
know,
have been like some of the folks from like the early summer area.
You're right. We should just fight sadness because we'll destroy it.
Yeah.
And then everything will be happy.
Yeah, I don't...
Sadness is actually a tangible thing that you can target with a spear and stab it.
What? Where did you get that? That's crazy!
What do you think that we're gonna do?
Probably pee myself and cry?
Well, don't. That's too many fluids at once, my friend. Let's only do one. One at a time. If you're crying, you can't pee. If you're crying, you can't pee, and if you're peeing, you can't cry. That's too much water lost.
But what if I pee and cry and throw up at the same time?
Nope, you'll get dehydrated. And remember, you need at least a thimble of water a day. That's healthy.
Mm-hmm. Well,
you know,
I should probably
suck on some morning dew.
That's a really good idea. I think I'll feel a lot better. I'm just a little freaked out right now. They're saying that the Lord of Thorns is creating something really just dark.
What?
I don't know. They said that he's calling the Court of Stars that, I mean, he's kind of took it over, and he's calling it Shadowfell now.
Bro! Okay. Well, you know what? Like I said, we serve Lady Titania. No one is more powerful than Lady Titania. We're on the good side.
Yeah, if we're on Titania's side, it means that we're right. I mean, she's like never wrong, right?
Yeah. You know, because if they're the bad guys, that means that we have to be good. Because that's how it works.
Yeah.
The bad guys get fought by the good guys, and there's no doubt or medium or gray in between. That's what's so great about being part of this kingdom, this court, is that we're on the side of good and light and happiness. And that's never wrong.
Yeah.
So they must be wrong. And we'll destroy them.
I mean, it is. I think it's kind of cool that at least we'll get to, we'll get to know some of the Queen of Air and Darkness's soldiers before we probably get killed in battle serving Titania. I think it's kind of cool that they're allied with us now. It's been a really long time since something like that happened.
Really, really, really long time. I didn't think that would ever happen.
I know! I don't even know what they look like! I heard that they're, like, all creepy and, like, gross looking, and that they like to hang out, in places where it's, like, kind of, like, dark and spooky, and that, they think that that summer is icky, and I just, like, don't know. What if they don't shower? What if they don't like to drink the morning dew?
Well, then that's more morning dew for us, right? And I've heard that frolicking in the moonlight can be interesting. Look, if we're gonna go to war, and we're gonna fight, if we die, I don't want to do this without telling you.
Tell me what? Oh, if it's about my missing pen, if you took that, it's fine, because I just need you to know that back when we got
dip them and I kiss them.
Oh, I guess you don't care that I stole your underwear that one time because I shit my pants. Right?
Don't ruin this moment.
Okay,
because
I'm not shitting my pants in your underwear.
Stop talking. Did you? Was that your first kiss?
I hope it's. Yeah, but I don't want to kiss anybody else. I only want to kiss you. I didn't think you felt the same way about me, and I thought that maybe you found those pants that I shit in. You don't like me.
Stop. Don't say anything more. Because the only thing that's true in this moment is that love can bloom on the battlefield. And I kiss them again, and I urge myself to wake up desperately.
Yeah, the last thing that you hear before you wake up is the cheering of other pixies that are like, "Yeah, take off your pants!" Like, they're like, "Yeah!" And there's like a leader of this like battalion that's like, "All right, break it up. If you're gonna do that, at least do it in the barracks." And then you wake up.
I shoot awake. I feel over my lips, and I go, I don't get it.
Okay. That was great.
Does Ego get that first kiss though?
Yeah, does he get a first kiss that technically he owns?
I guess we'll have to find out.
I don't know.
Yeah, so we will get back to that in a second. I want to really quickly go to Aurum before we go to Saoirse. Aurum, when you go to sleep, you have, for lack of a better, like, there isn't really like a flowery description for this. Like, you have psychedelic as fuck dreams. Like, there's just like, it's almost like back when you were the master of ceremonies for the rebirthday party, where like everything was just like strobing and moving colors, and like you could see sound and like taste emotions. You have like this very psychedelic mushroom filled dream, and you feel yourself being like filled with sensation and color, and more than anything sound, and you have this like feeling, like this almost overwhelming urge that you just want to scream. And so you once again kind of feel like that potential, like how you did with the dragon tooth, but instead of this like malice coming over you, it's just this like borderline overwhelming, like you just need to like let out in the form of a scream.
Okay.
For Saoirse, you enter your trance, which is probably very relieving after having to sleep. Ew, who does that? Curse people,
Yeah,
not me.
Don't want it. For sure, don't want it for eternity.
No, certainly not. And when you awaken, you are laying in a field of tulips, and you can see like all of their multicolored, like cup-shaped blooms just starting to open, and they're like all around your vision as you are like laying amongst them.
I think she lays there for a minute because the last stream started off really nice too, and then she started to like disintegrate. So I think there's like this is a second of like, okay, just gonna like brace myself for the oncoming, like all of the color draining out of everything, and then I start like fully falling apart.
Yeah, so you lay there for like a little bit, kind of just taking it all in, like, you know, maybe like feeling a little bit cautious, a little bit like unsure of what's gonna happen, and you can hear robins like with their like little peter 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 chirp, like singing, like little chickadees and birds flying around. You see little butterflies and other like pollinators flying amongst all of the tulips there. The sky above you is blue with cheery little clouds, very small, just like slowly like swirling in very like organic patterns in the sky above you. And as you're looking at them, they start taking the shape of tulips that like bloom and like have little smiles on them for you. And then eventually you hear like a belch, like a burp.
I will look around to see which of the flowers burped.
You look around and you don't see a flower. Instead, you find yourself looking upon a familiar satyr face of Sam sitting right close to you in the tulips here. It's like, oh, sorry, that was my lunch.
Oh,
did you just?
All right.
You just want to lay there this whole time? Don't let me stop you.
Sure. You come lay down next to me. We can talk.
Well, I wouldn't say no to an invitation like that. And he will like flop down next to you in the
tulip. Gonna do the like cloud gazing kind of vibe. So?
I didn't think I'd be
there-
seeing you this soon.
I didn't think I'd see you this soon either. Do you have a report, or?
Not a full report, but what I can tell you is that with you gone, your mother seems to be in a bit of a state. It would seem that after she sent you on your way to hopefully learn a little bit from Zybilna, losing her one and only true baby, kind of, she wasn't doing the best after that. And her sister, I didn't know that she had a sister, Miserine, she came to visit, and your mother has been rather cloistered with her. I haven't really seen your mother all that much, but what I can tell you is that the suite where your auntie is staying, she has terrible taste. Black thorns and roses all over the place.
I mean, well, that's what Mother, she turns into sort of a thorny situation when she's angry.
Well, yes, I suppose, but I mean, I don't know, it just seems, at least if your mother were to turn into an explosion of thorns, or, you know, like a mother bear, or like some sort of creature born of rage, her aura is still very spring. Not really any other way to describe it. It's a bit foul. A bit rotten.
Interesting. So, she's, winter?
No. I'm not really sure who your aunt, or what court she's associated with. I'm not really familiar with her at all. I'm trying to figure that out, if she just sort of lives somewhere else, or has her whole own domain. After all, if she is your mother's sister, it stands to reason that she could be
Are you sure
Archfey.
she's her sister? Or she's just, like, claiming to be her sister? You know, sometimes things like that sort of happen.
I suppose that's one of the things I'll need to find out. But your father hasn't seen your mother basically since you left. So he's sort of running the show right now. He's doing his best, but leadership is not necessarily his best quality.
No, he's very you know,
blown over by a light breeze. He is the light breeze that blows himself over.
Yeah, he's sort of easily distracted.
It's like those peonies that have lots and lots of petals, and the flowers get really big and they're beautiful, but if you just sort of blow on them, they just fall right over.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of unrest.
Right. Okay. But the magic.
That's the part that I don't really have a report on yet. I need a little bit more time.
And that's the part I wanted you to look into.
Yes, but that takes time, and I didn't
You're
think
like,
you were
I want the gossip instead.
I didn't think... of course I want the gossip. You have to know the gossip to be able to understand the full situation.
I know. It's, you know, the part I'm actually wanting you to investigate is the magic, and you're like, but first, I'm going to check out the gossip.
Well, I didn't think that you were going to come and ask for a report immediately after sending me on my way. It's only been... I've been here... a few... We've had a few suppers together. Your father has put together decent meals with, you know, the court. Oh my god, Victoria's blanking on the chef is making meals. They're hosting me as a guest, as they would. But it hasn't been very long. We've had like one big meal together, and then I've taken a few in my room. But I don't think it's been very long at all. So, I mean, you kind of summoned me here
I mean, listen, it's been 5 minutes for me. Like I went out into the sort of dining area, and then there was some sort of an attack, and we ran outside, and we ran outside, fought some things, came back in, and went back to sleep. So it's literally been like 5 minutes since the last time I saw you.
I think this is
My expectations are low.
right. I think there's probably a chance that you might rest and call on me again, and I'll try to have more information by then, but it's definitely a little early. But I'm not convinced that your auntie doesn't have something to do with the unrest. I find the whole aura
I think sorry
over there. It's very strange, right?
Because nobody knew about her. That's the thing that's getting to me, is that, like, I mean, like, my mother's not a very talkative person.
No.
Not a very personal kind of person.
Very stoic.
Anyways. But at the same time, like, somebody should know about her.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Like, did my father know about her?
I'm not sure about that one. I haven't asked yet. I've just sort of gotten an understanding of, like, the situation as it stands now, and next I need to figure out, like, you know, where did she come from? What's her deal? Like, did anybody else know about her? Because it seems like most of the people in the Spring Court didn't know about her, but I haven't gone to talk with any of your parents' advisors yet. But it's just very strange that all of a sudden, you know, very shortly after the soon-to-be inheritor of the Spring Court's power leaves, and now this bizarre auntie has come and has your mother fully occupied on whatever's happening in there. Like I said, very weird. I'm trying to see if I can get into her suite, the guest suite, but it's blocked off by thorns.
Yeah, that's strange.
Do you want some wine?
Alright, I'm never going to say no to that.
He plucks one of the tulips and hands it to you, and you can see that the tulip... I mean, this is... If you imagine it will be...
for a picnic.
Yeah, and as you say that, like, a lot of the flowers will kind of, like, fold down and knot their stalks together, and, like, all of a sudden you have, like, a little picnic blanket. Like, very classic red and white gingham, and, like, a little basket will come up and form from all of the grasses.
Like, little animals sort of come and carry over,
they
like,
carry over, like,
and
cheese, and, yeah, like, one of... There's, like, a badger with, like, a bottle of wine that, like, presents it to you like a fancy waiter, so you can, like, read the label.
Walking up, like, on back behind legs and stuff.
Yeah,
not like a personified badger, but like a real badger, but it's up on its hind.
Yeah, for sure. And you guys can have a picnic. At this point, there's not a whole lot else that he has to share with you in terms of, like, the situation at hand in the Spring Court and the information that you have tasked him with finding. But you guys have a lovely picnic. And then eventually Sam's like, alright, the wine's starting to hit you. Why don't you just lay back and listen to the birds? And you kind of drift back into your trance, and eventually will come out of it. And we're gonna end the session there, because I do believe Jamie has to go in about, like, 3 minutes, and I think we'll kick off the next session with you guys going to Yawn, maybe? Back to Yawn?
I think so.
I actually do. I want to do a dawn dream thing, like, when we first get back next week. But then after that, you guys are awake and free to do as you please.
That was like I feel like I blinked and that went by. Jesus.
We did start like an hour plus late, and so
True, yeah.
it's only been like 2.5 hours of game. So
It was matey.
Matey claws.
So yes, thank you as always to my players for joining me on this little Fae adventure. Thank you to those of you who are watching at home, or wherever, now or in the future. We appreciate having your patronage. Thank you to Little Dragon Corp and Cardboard Castle Games and Sirenscape and Suncraft. Yay! We'll be back next week. Does anyone have anything else that they need to say?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay. The next time that you are going to confess your love to a pixie that you apparently know, but also just met, and they can't stop talking about shitting their pants, don't forget to add your proficiency bonus.
Hey.
Oh yeah.
And we'll see you back here next week.
Love you, bye. Ooh, love you, bye.